Hi. It was raining really hard and it stopped. I I worked inside all day, and so my body's very tired, so I thought, oh, I'd take a nice power nap under a tree and get some fresh air, and then get in a walk around the lake and maybe do a little weightlifting before bed. But then it started raining really hard, and I was drifting off to sleep. And as I was drifting off to sleep, I was thinking how grateful I am to have arrived where I have finally arrived. And I didn't know that I would ever get here, to a place where I feel secure within myself and feel quite all right on my own. I used to be so fixated on finding a life partner and so worried that I would end up alone at the end of my life, and I made decisions based off of that. Like, I didn't do the things I really wanted to do oftentimes. I didn't live out my values fully because I thought, well, if I do that, no one's ever going to want to be with me because my ideas, my values are so, in many ways, counterculture and fringe. There's not a lot of people that want to live the way that I do. And now that I'm finally doing my thing and not worried about it, just doing it, lo and behold, I'm not worried about finding anyone else at all because I'm already fulfilled. So I guess that's how that works. It's like if you are not doing the things you really want to be doing and you're not pursuing your heart and your values and living according to those things, then whatever partner you attract is not going to really be right for you because you're not even living authentically, and you probably will resent that person and also yourself. And what kind of relationship is that going to be? I can tell you because I had a lot of them. Not a great relationship. A lot of arguing, a lot of fighting, a lot of finger pointing, a lot of pushing and pulling because one of you is anxious and the other is avoidant. So yeah, and for some reason you just stay in it because you don't want to be alone, because you're scared of yourself. You don't even want to be with you, and yet you think that another person wants to be with you. How does that work? But yeah, and I think that's an epidemic in our culture. I think most people are insecurely attached. I think a lot of people end up anxiously attached because in their childhood they don't get the time and attention they need from their parents, which is like a lot of people, right? Because both parents are usually working, they're distracted, trying to pay the bills, keep up with the Joneses, maybe they're stressed out after work, so they're throwing back beers, or popping a Xanax. There's a lot of that going on. Or they are parentifying their children. A lot of people end up in divorce court, so they share custody of the kid, and the kids hearing mom say this and dad say that, and they grow up to be an avoidant person in relationships because they associate relationships with being smothered and not having their boundaries respected. So yeah, most of us have a lot of work to do in that department, the department of becoming secure within ourselves, because humans are communal creatures, so we long for that. It's natural to want to be close to somebody and have a partner. So it gets real frustrating when you don't know how to do that thing that you are wired to do. When you're really bad at that thing that biologically your body wants you to do, is we need each other for survival. So it's like we can't live with each other and we can't live without each other. Many of us, most of us. But we can heal. Yeah, I'm just so grateful not to be always hyper fixated on that. And like, it took up so much of my energy and attention, and dictated so many of my choices. And I think the right relationship will always just be an emergent property, a byproduct, something that you attract naturally and organically, and that you don't have to seek out if you are a secure person. Um, Anyways, I don't know if any of that made very much sense, and I don't know if anybody cares, but it feels nice to be here. So I'm gonna take myself on a walk now.